Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Friday morning because we're now 7-1 with a push on my last 9 extra daily picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another extra daily pick going off here today for just $2.99. And if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to my daily best play each and every day during that time frame, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. Now you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here with the free videos and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in really any given sport, side, and total. What I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. And if you want to get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. And of course, just want to give a quick shout out to all my chairman members. We cashed in on 4 different premium selections of mine yesterday, so congratulations to you. And once again, folks, the site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Bucks at the Hornets. That'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Milwaukee's minus 7.5, totals 237 and a hook. Now, the Bucks have gotten the W in 5 out of their last 7 outings. And even though Giannis is a little banged up right now, the Bucks have been getting offensive production from other contributors as well. Malik Beasley's drilling nearly 47% of his three-pointers. And of course, Dame Lillard, he's second on the roster in points. Now, they're facing a Charlotte team on the other side who, well, they just give up way too many points at home. They actually lost 4 of 5 at the Spectrum Center to start the year already. And speaking of the offensive end of the court, the Hornets have been little threat hitting the long ball. They're actually averaging a league low 9 3-pointers a game. Now, injury-wise, Livingston's out for the Bucks. Beauchamp and Giannis are questionable. When it comes to the total, 4 out of Milwaukee's last 5 road games all got over the total. Meanwhile, the Hornets are 70% to the over for the entire season. Give me the Bucks minus 7.5 over 237 and a hook. All right, next play. Knicks, Wizards, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. New York's the 7-point favorite. Totals 227. Now, the Knicks have been pretty good against the number here this season. They're covering in 73% of their contests, and it's been nearly impossible to score against them. New York allows fewer points per game than any other franchise in the NBA. Jalen Brunson's got a handful of steals on this season, club leader in points. When it comes to the scoring, RJ Barrett's drilling 50% of his attempts from beyond the arc. They're facing a Washington club on the other side of things, who's actually one of the worst defensive teams in the game. They're allowing nearly 124 points a night, and they're dead last in defensive boards. Deion Wright's still out for the Wizards. Quentin Grimes questionable for the Knicks. When it comes to the total, 3 out of the Wizards' last 4 in the nation's capital got over the number. They're also 73% to the over for the entire season. Give me the Knicks minus 7 over 227. Next matchup, Celtics, Raptors, 7:30 p.m. East. Boston, 6.5, totals 220 and a hook. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, no one's doing it better on the offensive end of the court than Boston. These guys lead the NBA right now in offensive boards per game. Jason Tatum grabs nearly double-digit rebounds a night, club leader in points. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown's averaging over 22.5 points a game himself. They're facing a Toronto team on the other side of things who's definitely not built for a track meet. These guys are averaging just $1.08 a game, and they're in the bottom 3 in shooting the 3 ball. Christian Coloco and Gary Trent, they're sitting out here tonight as well for Toronto. OG Anunoby's also doubtful. Meanwhile, for Boston on the other side, Kristaps Porzingis, he's got a sore knee, so keep an eye on him. And out of the Celtics' last 5 ball games, the under cashed 4 times. They've also held Toronto to just 104 points a game in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. And no real shock here, folks. The under cashed in 80% of those head-to-head gatherings I just mentioned. Give me the Celtics minus 6.5, under 220 and a hook. Next ball game, Pistons, Cavaliers, 7:30 p.m. East. Cleveland's the 9-point favorite, totals 221. And for a team laying nearly double digits in this spot here, Cleveland has been pretty lackluster at covering the point spread. They failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 at home. Meanwhile, for the entire season, well, these guys are covering in only 36% of their contests at any location. They're facing a Pistons team on the other side who's covered against the likes of Philadelphia and Milwaukee here recently. And as bad as they've been with regard to just their normal win-loss record, well, they've actually played pretty tough, defensively against Cleveland in recent meetings. They've held the Cavs to just 108 points a game in their last 10 head-to-head contests. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, guys, this is one of the best rebounding teams in the Eastern Conference right now. All-Star Thompson, he's grabbing double-digit rebounds a game, dozen points a night as well for the forward. Meanwhile, Alec Burks is second on the roster in scoring, and he's drilling nearly 50% of his 3 balls. Now, injury-wise, Morris, Duren, and Livers are out for the Pistons. Bagley's day-to-day. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, Okoro and Jerome are inactive. Mitchell and Garland are questionable. When it comes to the total, 3 out of the Cavs' last 4 home games did fall under the number. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Detroit. So once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Give me the Pistons plus 9, under 221. All right, next matchup, Sixers, Hawks, 7:30 p.m. East. Philadelphia's minus 1, totals 236. Now, Joel Embiid's questionable for the Sixers, battling a hip injury. I think that's why we're seeing such a short number right now. Now, as a team, the Sixers are currently on a 2-game skid. They played pretty bad defensively this week. They allowed 124 points a game on average in their last 3 outings. When it comes to offensive production, the Sixers have had their struggles against Atlanta. They're averaging only 107 points a game in their last 10 meetings with the Hawks. And speaking of Atlanta, they got the W in 6 out of their last 9. They're now shooting it much more efficiently. The Hawks are currently in the top 10 in the league in offensive field goal percentage. Kind of a stark contrast from where they were in this season's opening handful of games. Now, DeJounte Murray, he's making 50% of his attempts from the field, second on the roster in scoring. Meanwhile, Trae Young leads the organization right now with 23.5 points a game. Now, injury-wise, once again, Joel Embiid is questionable to suit up for Philadelphia. When it comes to the total, the Sixers are 64% to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Atlanta saw 4 out of their last 5 at the State Farm Arena get over the line. Give the Hawks plus 1, over 236. All right, next matchup, Kings, Spurs, 7:30 p.m. East. Sacramento's 7.5, totals 238. Now, the Kings are having some problems away from the Golden One Center. These guys lost 3 of 5 away from home, and they've struggled defensively with San Antonio. They're allowing over 119 points a game in their last 10 gatherings against the Spurs. And as far as this season's concerned, the Spurs do get it to the hoop quite a bit. They're in the top 10 in field goals made per game. Zach Collins is making over 53% of his attempts from the field, 13 points a night he's averaging. Meanwhile, Victor Wembanyama, he's the team leader in scoring. Now, injury-wise, Trey Jones is doubtful for the Spurs. Len and Lyles inactive for Sacramento. 3 out of the Kings' last 5 ball games did get over the total. The Spurs are 9-2 to the over for the entire season themselves. 5-0 to the over on their own court. Nothing but overs in front of their own fans this year. Give me the Spurs plus 7.5 over 238. All right, next contest, Nuggets, Pelicans, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Denver's -5, totals 225. And even though this isn't a huge number, you still got to remember the fact that the Nuggets failed to cover in their last 3 straight. And when they play on the road, they're really not shooting all too well. They're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams on the road in the West. They're facing a Pels club who covered in 2 out of their last 3. And they looked really good offensively during that short span. Now, oddly enough, the Pels do a lot of their scoring in the first half. They're actually in the top 10 in the NBA in second quarter points per game. Brandon Ingram's dropping 23 points a night, and he's also making 50% of his field goals. Meanwhile, Zion Williamson, he's averaging 21 points a night himself. He's also making 52% of his attempts from the field. Now, injury-wise, Alvarado and Murphy are still out. Jamal Murray's still inactive for Denver. When it comes to the total, the Nuggets saw all 4 of their road games stay under the total. They're also 73% to the under for the entire season. Give me the Pelicans +5, under 225. All right, next contest, Magic Bulls, 8 o'clock East. Chicago's the 2-point favorite, totals 215.5. And even though this is a super short number, you still got to consider the fact that Chicago did cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 5. Talking about covers against the likes of the Bucks, Suns, and Jazz. Now, the Bulls have also kind of buried the Magic defensively in their recent gatherings. They've held Orlando to just 103 points a game in their last 10 meetings. DeMar DeRozan's got a handful of steals and blocks on the year. He's actually second on the roster in points. And when it comes to scoring, Zach LaVine's averaging over 21.5 points a game. Now, they're taking on an Orlando club who's not built for a track meet themselves. These guys make fewer field goals a game than any other organization in the association right now. And no real surprise here, the Magic scoring fewer third-quarter points than any other roster in basketball. Fultz and Carter still out for the Magic. Dalen Terry out for Chicago. When it comes to the total, the Bulls' last 2 straight did stay under the number. Orlando's 8-3 to the under for the entire season. Give me the Bulls -2, under 215.5. All right, next contest, Lakers, Blazers, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. The LA Lakers are -9.5, totals 223. Now, this is going to be a tough number for the Lakers to cover, in my opinion. They're just 1-5 straight up on the road this year, and they're having significant troubles rebounding the basketball in those road contests. When it comes to shooting the ball, well, these guys have been little threat shooting it from beyond the arc. LA is making only 29% of their three-pointers. Now, they're facing a Portland team who surprisingly guards the three-pointer quite well themselves. They allow fewer made three-pointers a game than any other roster besides one. When it comes to covering the point spread, the Blazers covered in 5 out of their last 8. Covers against the likes of the Kings, Pistons, and this very Laker team. Jeremy Grant leads the lineup in scoring. DeAndre Ayton's making 56% of his field goals. Now, injury-wise, Brogdon's out for Portland. LeBron and AD questionable for the Lakers. LA's 4-2 to the under in their last 6 road games. Meanwhile, Portland saw 3 out of their last 4 at the Rose Quarter stay under. Give me Portland +9.5, under 223. Next ball game, Suns, Jazz, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Phoenix is the 6-point favorite away from home, totals 237. And I got to be honest, I just don't like this spot for Phoenix backers here. They're laying a couple of baskets on the road, yet they failed to cover in 6 out of their last 8. And when the Suns do play on the road, they really don't shoot it well. They're one of the worst field goal shooting teams on the road in the West. They're facing a Jazz team who loves getting started offensively out of the gate. These guys are a top 3 first-quarter scoring team in the Western Conference. Lauri Markkanen leads the roster in scoring. 42% shooting from three land as well for marketing. Meanwhile, John Collins is making 42% of his long balls himself. 14 points a night for Collins. Now, folks, underneath the basket, there's really not many teams who look better right now than Utah. The Jazz are arguably the best rebounding team in the West, and I'm talking about on both ends of the court. Devin Booker, questionable for the Suns. Bradley Beal's doubtful. 7 out of the Suns' last 9 ball games got over the number. Utah 73% to the over for the entire season. Give me the Jazz +6 over 237. With that, folks, now it's time for our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Rockets-Clippers game, 10:30 p.m. East. The LA Clippers are now -6.5, totals 218 and a hook. And right off the bat here, folks, you've probably seen a ton of line movement in this particular game. It was 5.5 early this morning, 5 in some spots. But for Houston, Victor Oladipo is going to be sitting this one out, currently battling some knee problems. That's why you saw that line jump. Probably going to continue to climb as well. And I'll tell you what, as good as the Rockets have been, they've struggled offensively in their couple of road games. They're facing a Clippers team who actually allows fewer first-quarter points a game than any other roster except for one. Paul George leads the club in steals, 5 defensive boards a night as well for PG. And when it comes to offensive production, PG is also leading the organization in scoring. And points-wise, Kawhi Leonard, he's also dropping 20.5 points a night. He's making 42% of his long balls. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Clippers' last 4 home games did fall under the total. Meanwhile, Houston's 6-3 to the under in their last 9. Give me the Clippers -6.5, under 218 and a hook. And with that, folks, we are now going to jump into our quick pick recap. Milwaukee Bucks -7.5, over 237 and a hook. New York Knicks -7, over 227. Celtics -6.5, under 220 and a hook. I'm 7-1 with a push on my last 9 extra daily picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another extra daily pick going off here today for just $2.99 for 30 days of service. The link is in my bio. Pistons +9, under 221. Hawks +1, over 236. Spurs +7.5, over 238. Pelicans +5, under 225. Bulls -2, under 215.5. Blazers +9.5, under 223. Jazz +6, over 237. And with my next and final free pick, give me the Clippers -6.5, under 218 and a hook. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.